that new intro cartoon. I think it's so fun. She looks kind of like me, doesn't she? Comment below, tell me how you like it. I would love your feedback on it. And some other housekeeping issues. Please subscribe. Please watch my videos. I've set up a playlist. Check it out. And not only is that just important for me for the support, but it's important because next week I'm going to post my upcoming video of the time that me and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, got in a bit of an argument. And I think it's hilarious. And he's so engaging with his fans. I think maybe he will engage with me, especially if he sees how much support I have from friends, family, people at large. So I asked you to please subscribe, watch the videos. Yeah, I hope you like them. Last bit, curly hair. And the reason is this story is about high school, something that happened in high school. So I thought I'd make my hair look like it was in high school for you. All right, so while I was in high school, I would have Sublime, I would hire Sublime, the band, play in my backyard for money, so I can make money. And the reason I needed to make money was I wanted to pay for college. Now I had a job, but I was probably making like $4 an hour, which wasn't really gonna help me much. And what I did make at that job, I usually spent on other things. So I knew my parents weren't gonna really be able to help me with school, and I didn't wanna go in debt. So I needed to find another way, and this is the way I decided to do it. Sublime played in a lot of backyards back then. You know, I went to school in Long Beach, California, and they played all the time. So this was not a huge big deal back then. So I would decide on a date and I would reach out to the band and ask them about it. And they always said yes. I paid, you won't believe this, but I paid Sublime $100 to play in my backyard. And so how I got ready for this, I had the band, I had the date, advertising. So I would have people who were good at drawing draw some flyers for me, and I would have them do it like a quarter of a sheet. That way I could have 4 different flyers and on one sheet of paper, saving money on printing costs. And so I would have some guy looking flyers and a really pretty cute one, you know, for girls. And here's a couple examples from one of the parties. The first one is kind of funny because not that long ago I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this flyer and it has my name on it. It has my address from my childhood home where I would do all this. So I thought, oh, that's so funny. And then I had this other flyer that I had drawn back then for the parties. So here they are. See, these are a couple of the flyers that were passed out. So I had some advertising, but I needed to get the word out. We didn't have text messages back then or email. We had a phone and we had flyers. So I had a contact at each of the Long Beach high schools. These are huge schools, huge. So lots of kids. So I had a contact. I would go to the contact and say, here's your stack of flyers. Now, if you pass these out for me, you get in the party for free, saving $3. Because that's how much it was to get into one of my parties to see Sublime. So I had people passing out flyers for me. The next thing I knew I needed was security. I needed security because, well, of fights. I didn't really want huge fights breaking out, and I knew that that probably could happen. And I also needed to keep people off the roof because we didn't have the best roof at my house or the garage, and I didn't want people up there and then crashing through and then my mom getting sued. So I had security, and they were paid by getting into the party for free too. So they were saving $3 by being my security guards. And luckily we went to school with some really big guys, so they were very intimidating and wonderful, and they helped me out. The next thing was food and beverage. Well, I never served food, so that was fine. And then beverage, I pretty much just got and advertised for 3 kegs. And so I would have to go acquire some kegs and those red cups, those solo cups. Check. And then it was my family. I had to get rid of my family. So my sister is younger than I am, not much, and she would go off on her own, probably with her friends. I'm not really sure what she did, but I know she wasn't at the party. But I have a much, much younger brother and mom that I had to get out. I didn't want my mom there. I didn't want her to get into trouble. My brother was way too young. So what I would do for them is another line item for my expenses was I would send them off to Knott's Berry Farm. And then I got them a hotel room for that night so they could stay out there. And I kind of just posed it like you get to stay as long as you want at Knott's Berry Farm, spend the night, and come home the next day. Great. Okay, so day of the concert or the backyard party. I have two best friends. They were twins, or not they were, they are twins. And they would always come over early and we would start getting things set up. The backyard set up, the area for the band, the mosh pit, the beer. Everything was started getting set up. And then of course we had to get ourselves ready. You know, we're teenage girls, so we definitely were trying our hardest to look as cute, but not trying too hard. We would always have to go get what we called scamming gum. I'm not sure if people still call it scamming. It's just like, you know, quickly hooking up. And we had this gum. I think it was the light blue extra gum, and we always had that. We thought that was the perfect gum, and it gave us good luck. I don't know. So anyway, me and my two best friends got ready, everything was ready. The band showed up, we welcomed them, got them set up. The security, same, they were good, they knew the rules, they knew to connect with me. The people collecting the money, great. And then we would just lock up tight my house because nobody but me and my two best friends were allowed in that house. People started arriving and you know, you pay your $3, and in those days we just carried cash. We didn't have our phones to pay with Apple Pay, and we didn't have Venmo, and we definitely didn't have credit cards, so we all carried cash. They gave $3, they got a mark on the hand, and they got to go in. And they would just hang out. You know, Sublime was playing, they were amazing. Drinking, which I'm gonna pause. I do not condone teenage drinking, or drug use, or lying to your parents, or lying to the police. Like, do as I say, not as I do. That's like right now. Okay. So the party would go on. It was fantastic. 300 to 400 kids, I'm not joking, would show up. You know, there was 4 huge high schools in Long Beach, and just party. And this was kind of, you know, we did this a lot. People went to these parties a lot, and it was so fun. But eventually security would come to me and say, you're running out of kegs, you're running out of beer. Okay, so I would do what any smart businesswoman would do, is I would go into my house, get on the telephone, and call the police. And I would tell the police that I needed their help, that I just came back home to find that my sister had thrown or is throwing the largest party. And I needed help getting all these kids out. And that's where my first apology really should lie. It's with my sister. I'm sorry for selling you out and making you the bad guy. I never gave him your name though. The police would show up, and I knew the most important thing to do would be to be responsible and as mature as possible. So I would go out there and I would shake their hand, look them straight in the eye, and thank them for being here and helping me get all these kids out of my backyard. And, you know, the police showing up and breaking up parties always happened, so that wasn't abnormal to anybody. So I want to apologize again to some more people, my Long Beach Poly people, and actually all the high schools in Long Beach. I'm sorry I advertised 3 kegs and then I only got 2. That was a bit misleading. I probably owe you like 10 cents at this point from that. And then I'm sorry I called the police on our own party. I'm sure I stopped the fun. And then I would like to apologize to the Long Beach Police Department for lying to them and to their face. So the police were always like, it's okay, you know, basically like patting me down, like, it's okay, you're gonna be fine, we're gonna help you, thank you so much for calling us, thank you. They would get the kids out, you know, flashing their flashlights all around, stopping the music, kids would leave. And I would have over usually $1,000 in ones. And my two best friends and I would put all that money into the house, safe and sound. Then we would head out and have fun that night. And then in the morning, we'd wake up feeling kind of probably crappy. And our next order of business was to clean up that backyard. We cleaned up the backyard before my mom came home. And we collected all the cans and bottles, anything recyclable, right? And we would head to the local recycling center and recycle it for more money, for more cash. So I did this a few times. I made plenty of money for college. I did not go in debt at all to go to school. It was fantastic. I am so proud that I was one of the beginnings party places for Sublime, who are amazing. So sad what happened, but they're fantastic. It was great. You know, I actually just tried to get royalties for one of their songs so I could play with my cartoon. I don't think I'm big enough yet for that, apparently. That's okay. One day, right? So I hope you enjoyed this hilarious story. That's exactly what I did. I'm a little entrepreneur, I guess, businessy person, crazy person. And these flyers are great. I hope you enjoyed the cartoon. Please, like I said, subscribe and watch my videos. There's a playlist. You can watch them all. Even if you mute it, I just need the views and I need subscriptions and I need our subscribers. And I'm hoping for this to be a lot of fun and a lot more stories to come. Thank you so much.